Vanguard deck profile. This time it's on Gear Chronicle ZTB Zodiac Time Beast instead of the Time Leap one. So let's get started with our grade zeros and our starting Vanguard. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to our Patreon. Chrono Dran Z, our starting Vanguard, 10,000 shield, 5k power, and Forerunner. And it has an auto rearguard skill where bind it face up. When your grade 2 or greater units placed on your Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at top 5 cards of your deck and add either a grade 1 or a grade 3 from among them into your hand. And then if it's in your bind zone, if you're at GB1, discard a hand card, add it to your hand. Really nice because it also works if you stride, since your stride still counts as a grade 4, which means it's higher than grade 2 and grade 3. That means even if it's on the rearguard circle and you stride, you can still bind it. Look at stuff. I mean, the only downside to it is that you can only switch grade 1s and grade 3s, but it's okay. Our triggers, starting with Chrono Medical Hamster. 10k shield, 4k power, bind it face up and choose another heal from your drop zone and bind it face up. One is discarded for the cost of a G Guardian, pay the cost if you do counter charge 1 and soul charge 1, or soul charge 1, I'm sorry. This deck does use a lot of soul and a lot of counter blast. Basically, this is there if you need to soul charge or counter blast. Basically, it's a decision-based, time-based move, since it could go either way. One copy of Pulsar Tamer Anin, 10k shield, 5,000 power, that's pretty much it, just a heal. 2 copies of Chronotherapy Hamster, just a vanilla heal from the trial deck, 10k shield, 5k power. Pulsar Thruster Bison to help deal with the soul problem. 10k shield, 4k power, rearguard circle, act, put into your soul, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 3k. That's, and 4k power. That's pretty much it. It just is like a good 7 of soul, since a lot of things have, and since this deck does use a lot of soul, it's kind of useful. 2 copies of Pulsar Tamer Mira, 10k shield, 4,000 power. Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard or guardian circle, if you have a Gear Colossus or Zodiac Time Beast Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw 1, bind a hand card, and soul charge 1 in it at GB1. Basically, that means it's a free soul charge. You get to get closer to binding. I do run Demiurge, which is why I have like a bunch of cards like binding and different Zodiac Time Beast triggers type of things. And like I said before, the soul charge problem, likely or not, you're going to use Chronotherapy for the counter charging. 4 copies of Bombard Hog, 10k shield, bind it face up on rearguard circle and counter charge 1, not GB restricted, and not once per turn. So you can spam this as much as you want. That's why it's here, and it also gets closer to Demiurge, just binding, counter charging, get cost free. 4 of Pulsar Hypnosis Sheep, 10k shield, 4k power, GB1 auto. When it's placed from your hand, for the rest of this turn, it gets auto rearguard skill. Put into your soul and choose one of your other rearguards. Send it to the bottom of your deck. At the end of the battle that one of your units attacked a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Zodiac Time Beast rearguards and stand it. Every card in this deck is Zodiac Time Beast except for the G units, but well, except for half of the G units. But even then, every card in this main deck is a Zodiac Time Beast. That was it for our grade zeros. On to our grade 1s. 4 copies of Pulsar Revolver Draco Kid. I'm questioning where my other one went. It's 5k shield, 7k power. Choose a grade 3 Zodiac Time Beast from your hand and reveal it. Once placed on rearguard, you may pay the cost if you do. Search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 Zodiac Time Beast. Reveal it from your hand. Reveal it, add it to your hand, and then choose a card from your hand and discard it, and then shuffle your deck. And it's stride fodder, basically meaning you can discard it as a grade 3 for the cost of a stride. Really nice searcher. The main unit is Chrono Dragon Z. He's at 4. Every other grade 3 is either at 2 or 1, so you're more likely going to see him, but it's still useful. 4 of Pulsar Transit Dragon. 7k power, 5k shield. Put it into your soul. If you have a grade 4 Vanguard Chrono Dragon's card name, you pay the cost at the end of the battle that it boosted a unit, and then you get to draw 1. Basically, it just goes like move into soul, draw 1. This deck has a lot of draw engine. It's only lost to Time Leap, the Chrono Jet Time Leap deck that I did before this, and that's pretty much it. It's actually run every other game, just because of how much hand power it gets and how quick of a rush. And then Finally, this thing that even in the beta version, when I only had one of this thing and one of the other card that's part of a really nice OTK comp, I somehow drew into both because Chrono Jet Dragon Z is so overpowered, and I also drew into him when I only had 2 revolvers at the time, and I only had 1 Chrono Jet. Pulsar, Mary Block Dragon, 5k shield, 7k power. In your deck or drop zone continuously, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard, it counts as a grade 3. So, and that works with Chrono Jet Dragon Z skill, which I'll review later. And on Rearguard Circle GB1, when it boosts a unit, you may give this unit plus 2k power for each of your other Zodiac Time Beast Rearguards, and for your other Zodiac Time Beast units, and at the end of the battle, bind it face up. Basically, you can gain a max of 10k, so it's a 17k booster without any other effects. And then you bind it face up, and that ability is part of the OTK combo that I will get to soon. Pulsar Tamer Manish. We're on a grade 2s now. 5k shield, 9k power. GB1 on Guardian or Rearguard Circle. If you have a Zodiac Time Beast Vanguard, it gets resist. Basically, your opponent can't touch it with by effects. And then GB1 Rearguard when it attacks, if you have enough, it gets plus 2k power for each of your other Zodiac Time Beast units, then include your Vanguard, and then at the end of the battle, bind it face up. It's also Zodiac Time Beast, so bind it, get closer to Demiurge, and it becomes a 19k hitter on its own. 1 copy of Pulsar Spearhead Unicorn, 5k shield, 9k power, GB1 Rearguard Circle Continuous. If you have a Vanguard or Chrono Jet card name, this unit gets plus 2k, and when it attacks, Counterblast 1, when it attacks a Vanguard, Counterblast 1, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the same number of cards from your deck as the number of Zodiac Time Beast units, including it. Call up to 1 Zodiac Time Beast different than this card. Call and then to Rearguard, and then send the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. So it can deck stack, can call you an extra attacker. Because of that thing and one of my units, I have 2 different OTK combos. Both of them involving a lot of counterblast though. 1 copy of Chronospin Serpent, just a 10k vanilla with 5k shield. Oh, I'm sorry. 2. 4 copies of Chrono Beat Buffalo, 5k shield, 9k power, continuous rearguard skill. If you have a grade 3 or greater Zodiac Time Beast Vanguard, it gets plus 2k, so it's a permanent 11k during your and your opponent's turn, so poke and just a shield in general. And then the last grade 2 and part of that Mary Block OTK combo, Pulsar Metal Party Dragon. 5k shield, 10k power, Rearguard or Vanguard. It cannot attack if the number of cards in your bind zone is 0. If it's 1 or more, you can actually attack with it. And then Rearguard Circle, Counterblast 1 if you're at GB1, and bind it face up at the end of the battle that it attacked a unit and it was boosted. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 3 and a grade 1 from Zodiac Time Beast units from your bind zone and call them separate rearguards. That's how you do it, because Mary Block counts as a grade 1 in the bind zone after you boost Metal Party with Mary Block, and then you just call it grade 3, which basically means all that stuff. Another whole column for an attack. 1 copy of Pulsar Replenish Kotal, GB1. When this unit is placed on rearguard from your deck, if you have a Zodiac Time Beast Vanguard, this unit gets plus 3k power to the end of the turn, and then if you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, you counter charge 1. We're on a grade 3s now because of this. It's okay. I don't use it that much. It's literally just there for discard and stride fodder. 2 copies of Pulsar Proceed Seep. 11,000 power, no shield. Counterblast 1 and bind it face up. Act rearguard skill. Draw a card and then choose a card from your drop zone. Bind it face up. Get you closer to Demiurge by 2, and then you get to +1 in hand for the counterblast of 1, which is kind of costly in this deck, but still. Any counterblast is really costly, basically. Pulsar Obscenity Ox. Vanguard or Rearguard continuously during your turn. It gets +1k for each face-up card in your G zone, and then Vanguard or Rearguard once per turn. Counterblast 1. It gets +1k for each face-up card in your G zone. Basically, you can stack this twice, and like say you had 6 face-up cards in your G zone, it gets +12k if you do both skills. And then 4 copies of our MVP, Chrono Jet Dragon Z. You continue a skill, you may pay the cost, choose a grade 3 Zodiac Time Beast unit from your drop zone and bind it face up as the cost for your stride. And since Mary Block counts as grade 3 in your drop, you can bind it face up, and then, yeah. And then same with other grade 3s. And then it's Soul Blast 1. When you stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to any one of players' rear guards, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then search your deck for up to 1 Zodiac Time Beast that's one grade higher than it, and call it to the deck. Call it to the rear guard, and then shuffle your deck. Basically like Timely, but you can do it to your opponent's rear guards instead, which is really nice. Like the original Chrono Jet plus the Chrono Jet Dragon G combined together into this thing, and only for the cost of a Soul Blast. So yeah, really broken. Now on to our G units, the guy I've been talking about, Demiurge, who I somehow pulled. Choose 12 face-up Zodiac Time Beasts with different card names from your bind zone, put them into your drop zone, choose 12 cards from your drop zone, put them at the top of your deck in any order, and until the end of the turn this unit gets, when this unit attacks, until the end of this battle, your opponent cannot call grade 1 cards or greater from their hand to the Guardian Circle. Basically meaning it locks down your opponent and you can triple trigger stack. Really nice. I mean, I've done it to the point where I can stack triggers. These two who are there, like, in just in case I had, like, extra Zodiac Time Beast and I can get another Demiurge turn out, or I need another aggressive turn. Thunderbolt, Shockwave, Colossus, Counterblast 1 it when it's placed back into G-Zone. Pick another face-up G unit and turn it face down. Refills G-Guards, refills Strides, basically all that. 2 copies of Deus Ex Machina, Ergos, the support for Demiurge, which really sucks. Bind the top card of your deck face up. When its attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 1 card from your bind zone, add it to your hand, then bind a card from your hand. Basically, it's an iffy card. It has to hit. There's no way your opponent's going to let this thing hit. If they see it, they know you have Demiurge. They're not going to let that hit regardless. 2 copies of Metal Poster Huanglong. This part of the OTK combo for the Metal Block and Mary Party. Metal Party and Mary Block. Counterblast 1 on Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle, they attack the Vanguard whether it hit or not. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose a grade 1 or greater card from your bind zone. Either add it to your hand or call it to rear guard. Here's what I did. Let me get Mary Block and Metal Party out here. What the main point was this. Have these 2 attack in a column, then bind them both, call out a grade 3 that you bound for the cost of Chrono Jet, and then Mary Block, attack with the grade 3 but don't boost. Attack with Huanglong, Counterblast 1 after its battle. We'll give all trigger effects to Mary Block. Counterblast 1, call Metal Party back, boost, and then call grade 3 and then Mary Block back and then attack with them again. Basically a lock combo that pushes your opponent down with a very aggressive turn, all for the counterblast of 3. Heavy counterblast cost, I know. 2 copies of the other OTK combo that works with Spearhead Unicorn, Avenir Phoenix. Counterblast 1 auto, choose a face down card from your G-Zone with the same card name as it and turn it face up. When this card attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, reveal 5 cards on top of your deck. Call up to 2 Zodiac Time Beasts from among them to separate rearguard circles for each face-up card in your G-Zone. So on the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. And GB3, all your Zodiac Time Beast rearguards get plus 2k. Basically, it can help for field stack and help things hit higher numbers. And if you have 4 cards face up in your G-Zone, you can call it 2 new columns. And if you have 5 or more cards face up in your G-Zone, you can call all of them. And then our last G unit, 4 copies of Pulsar Saber Illush. 15k shield, the other Soul Blast cost thing. Soul Blast 1, when it's placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, if the number of cards in your bind zone is 1 or more, it gets plus 5k shield. Then if there are 5 or more, it gets plus 15. So it's the other thing that procs off a Demiurge's skill to the point where it has a 35k shield, and that pretty much blocks off anything. 4 copies. That was the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to our Patreon. And stand up the Vanguard.